Guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Josh. This is jsurbanadventures. Today I got a brand new episode of Ghetto Gourmet for you guys. It's January 1st. It's New Year's and we're cooking up a soul food New Year's Day, good luck, good money meal from the South, from down south. Let's check. We're going to be making a sort of goulash jambalaya with collard greens, some celery and onions, some jalapenos, some of my hot sauce, cayenne flavoring. We got cayennes we gotta grind up here and thyme. And then the meat, bacon, and smoked pork sausage. It's gonna be good. We're gonna put all this together in this pot. We have black-eyed peas. Black-eyed peas, traditionally in the South, you eat them on New Year's Day for good luck. You eat your collard greens for more money. We're gonna be making a nice little jambalaya type stew. It's gonna be great, along with a side of cornbread and some good pie. So we're gonna get into the cooking. Roll that intro, baby. Alright guys, so sometimes you would want to leave your black-eyed peas in water soaking overnight so they would cook faster. You could do this in a slow cooker if you had all day, but I got started a little late. So I've already got my black-eyed peas in a pot. I brought it to a boil. Now I'm just gonna let them simmer for about 3 hours. They've been in there for an hour. They're gonna get soft. While I do that, I've got to get the prep of everything else done. So let me show you what I'm gonna do and then I'll do it all. So we're gonna cut up our bacon. I don't have the quantities for this recipe, so I'm just gonna guess on everything and just try to make a good soup type goulash jambalaya thing. But we're gonna cut up our bacon into small pieces. We're gonna cut up our sausage into small pieces. We're gonna cut up everything. Cut some celery. We're gonna get the stems, wash these collard greens, cut them up, cut up some onions, cut up some jalapenos. What we're gonna do is let these sit for 3 to 4 hours. The recipe that I read said 3 to 4 hours in room temperature water. I want to speed it up a little bit, so I've got them on hot water. And we will also have some chicken broth that we'll add. We'll take that water out and put some new water in, and with some chicken broth, with the bacon grease and all that, we're going to saute up the bacon and the sausage, set it aside, and then we're going to saute up celery, onions, jalapenos, with garlic. I also got to get some garlic, and then we're going to grind up these cayenne peppers, dried cayennes, and then basically in about 2 hours, once I'm done prepping everything, we're just going to add it all to the pot and we're going to let it stew for a while and add in some of this Cajun seasoning, and then we'll add in our collard greens also so they can soak for a while and get nice and soft. And that's the step. So I'm gonna go ahead and start chopping all this up and prepping it. When I'm done prepping it, and this has been on here for a little while, I will be right back. All right guys, it's been about an hour and a half. I got all my bacon chopped up into about 1-inch squares, and then my sausage cut up into chunks. I've got my celery and my jalapenos are at the bottom here, all cut up into chunks. I've got fresh cayenne, cayennes from my garden that were dried out. Well, it's not fresh, it's dried cayenne, but I ground them up in a grinder. Some thyme, chicken broth, and then onions, chopped up all the onions, and then the collard greens. So I bought one little package of collard greens. I'm going to show you how to cut it up real quick. So, get your collard greens ready. You want to cut out this big white stem in the middle. I washed them. And I'm just gonna, Floor was telling me that I could lay it down like this and go like that. But my knife isn't very good. So I'm just gonna cut it out. I've just been cutting it out like this. Just running the knife down the big white vein. The big white vein. Throw that in the sink. And just cut or tear you up some chunks, you know, ranging in size. once it boils, it's gonna shrink. So, you know, we'll have some little shreds, we'll have some big chunks. Again, the collard greens on New Year's is for money. It's supposed to help you get good money throughout the year. So let's hope it works. And that's pretty much all my processing that I have to do. My beans are not quite ready yet. It's 4:29. That means they've been in there for 2.5 hours. They're getting close to ready. If I pull out a bean here, I can show you. You know, they're still a little firm. I ate one. Another hour or 2 hours, but that's fine. We're gonna start shortly cooking the meat. We'll cook the bacon on the pan for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll throw in the sausages, go for another 3 to 5 minutes, and we'll take the meat out, set it aside, leave the grease in there, and then we're gonna start sauteing all the veggies, all the celery, all the jalapenos with some of the herbs and the spices in there, some of the Cajun seasoning on the veggies, the onions. We'll cook the onions, the celery, and all that. All this will be cooked up sauteed on the frying pan. And then we will strain these beans once they're softer. We're gonna get this water out of here. We're gonna strain them and rinse them once they're pretty soft. And then we're gonna put them back in the pot and add the chicken broth and some water. And then we're gonna start working on cooking up all the veggies and stuff. We'll add it together. We have a lid for the pot. We'll throw the collard greens in there, have it nice and juicy, put the lid on it, and just let it sit for about half an hour. While it sits stewing, we'll make the honey cornbread mix, which we're just gonna make it from the box. I'm not really gonna go through all the instructions of how to make the cornbread for you. We're just going off the box. Eggs, oil, milk in a little 8x8 pan. We're just gonna make some easy cornbread. But yeah, that's that. I will be back when I start sauteing all this stuff up, guys. All right, this has been going for 3 hours. I'm gonna let it keep going, and I'm gonna start sauteing up this, cooking up this meat. And then once it's done, I'm gonna leave the grease in there. I'm gonna put the meat in this bowl. But we're gonna start with the bacon. We're gonna go 3 to 5 minutes on the bacon, and then we're gonna add in the sausages. And we're just gonna get it nicely browned, because once we put in the soup, it's not gonna keep cooking much. So we need to get all our meat browned. And this will also give us the grease for the bacon, which we're gonna put into there when we're ready. All right, so I'm gonna let this go for a little while, then I'll add this in, and I will be back once it's about done. All right, so this is ready. I'm gonna take this off the heat, put the meat in the bowl, and then I'm gonna saute the onions, celery, jalapeno, some spices. I'm gonna do like half the spices in there, and half the spice will go into the soup. Those are still steadily boiling, and I'll show you once the veggies are all in the pan getting soft. All right, the veggies are sauteing in bacon grease. I got some of my cayenne in there, some of my Cajun seasoning, some thyme in there. The beans are almost ready. They're almost ready. So by the time this is all sauteed up, we combine all this in this bowl right here. Then I'll strain these, rinse them off, put them back in the pot with some chicken broth. And then we'll add all this and these collard greens into the pot, put the lid on it, and let it sit for a little while I make the cornbread. All right, I added a little extra bacon grease to this, sauteing nicely. I'm going to strain these beans out now. They're getting nice and soft. I'm going to strain them and rinse them right here. And then I'm going to put them back on the pot. Lower the heat down a little bit for now. Put them back on the pot with some chicken broth. And I think I have enough chicken broth where I don't need water. So it'll be thick. Maybe we'll add a little water just to thin it out a little bit. We'll have to see as it goes. But for now, I gotta get this strained out. And then we'll add the collard greens and all the stuff in, and we'll let it stew for a little while, for another half an hour at least. 6:30, it should be ready. All right. Pour this in here. Now I kind of have too many beans, so I'm gonna rinse it with warm water. I'm gonna take about 2 cups of the beans out because I have too much beans and this pot's not big enough. All right. Pour the beans back in here. See where we stand. We're gonna take a cup of beans out and put them in this jar for later. We have a jar of beans. I'll put a lid on this. Save this for another time. We can use these beans. They're cooked already. They're ready to go. I'm gonna take some chicken broth. Put it into here. I have another can if this isn't enough. Yeah, we're gonna need more liquid. Let me get a can. Open this can. That in there. That looks good with liquid. We've got it where the beans are almost covered by the broth. We'll add probably one more can of this in just a moment. We're gonna put the rest of the thyme, the rest of the cayenne, some more Cajun in there. And we're gonna spoon this into there. Turn the heat up a little bit because that broth is cool. We're gonna throw our meat in there and let it start flavoring those beans. Let the bacon grease just go in there. Let that go in there. Yeah, we're gonna need a little more broth. We'll throw our seasonings in. Throw our collard greens in, and then we're gonna fill it till it's swimming. Let it heat up a good bit till it gets to a boil, and then we'll throw the lid on it and we'll let it cook while I make my cornbread. Should be very good. Alright, all the ingredients are combined. The collards are all still fresh, so they're sitting on the top right now, but I've got the heat up. It should start to boil soon. We've got a little bit of water, but mostly chicken broth in there, and all the meat and oils and the beans. So we're gonna let it sit covered for another, should be ready by 6:30. And we'll stir it occasionally, especially once those greens start softening up, we'll stir it up more. And I'm going to start working on this cornbread. Not gonna show you the instructions. If you wanna pause it right there, or just buy yourself some of this, you can make yourself some cornbread with this pan. And by the time the cornbread's ready, it should all come out. Let's go, Ghetto Gourmet. Happy New Year's, guys. All right, our oven is preheated to 375. We got our cornbread mix here, just from the box. Milk, butter, egg, and then the powder. We're gonna throw it in this oven. And this is still simmering, stirring it occasionally, letting those collard greens get nice and dark and soft. Ooh, it looks good. We're gonna drop the heat a little bit on that. And I'll stir it up once I get this in. And then when I get back, the cornbread's gonna be ready. And it's gonna be, we're gonna let it sit. It's gonna be time to eat. All right, guys, dinner is served. I've got the cornbread here. It drooped down in the middle because I think the pan is soft and it fell down in the middle when I took it out, but cornbread looks good. Got some pie. And then we've got the traditional Southern New Year's Day meal. You got your collard greens for good wealth. You got your beans, your black-eyed peas specifically for good luck. And I got the sausage and the bacon in here. Ooh, that looks good. I'm gonna bowl up some and we're gonna try it out. Cornbread seems a little soft, but I did what it told me to do. I waited 5 minutes. Oh no, it's perfect. Ooh, fluffy and good. I'm gonna lay it down. We're probably just gonna drop the cornbread in the soup when I start eating it. But for now, I'm gonna set it on a plate. Look at that. All right, that's a lot of cornbread. Let me get a slice of this pie. I'm having difficulties with the pie. Pie. And last but not least, I'm gonna get some of this in a bowl. Stir it up one last time. I'm gonna have lots of leftovers. Pretty good. All right, now I'm gonna try it out. Let you know how it is. All right, here we go. Put some of my hot sauce on it. JS Fire hot sauce. There's 3 bottles left. If you want them, let me know. I can get you a bottle of hot sauce. Let's try this out. For luck and prosperity. Happy New Year's, everybody. Ooh, it's hot. It needs to sit for a minute and cool down. Cornbread. Try the cornbread. Cornbread is good. Put the cornbread on this. Oh yeah. Ooh, it's good. It's really hot. Not like spicy hot, but temperature hot. It needs to cool down. But everything's good. The greens are perfectly done. The beans, nice beans. And that was a quick way to do it. Instead of using a slow cooker or soaking them overnight, it took about 4 hours. But it came out very good. It's just really hot right now, so I can't try it. But Happy New Year's, everybody. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure you hit the like on your way out. Subscribe, all the good stuff. We are sponsored by viewers like you. Share this out to a friend. Check out the Monday night show, live show, Monday night. And yeah, Happy New Year's, everybody. Hope your resolutions come true. Work on bettering yourself and all that good stuff. But we out. Peace. Eat this pie.